Business activity at crane maker Action Construction Equipment is a strong indicator of how the overall economy is shaping up. Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, Managing Director at ACE, as the company is better known as, joins us to discuss just that. Saurabh, thank you so very much for joining us on the show. Can you give us a sense as to how business is shaping up? Because traditionally cranes have had a very strong correlation with the IIP index, which is in which growth is now moderating. So given that, is it fair to say that there are signs of consolidation in your business as well?
Yeah, good afternoon to you. As a matter of fact, I think for the last 7-8 months, the demand for the cranes, all types, whether it is mobile or even tower cranes, has been going up. And on the whole, the scenario seems to be very bullish as of now. Yes, for the last 1 or 2 months, excessive rains were a bit of a dampener. But on the whole, the scenario is quite bullish. And, especially most of this equipment is used for infrastructure as well as industrial activity. And both these activities have totally rebounded in the last 8-9 months. So looking at that, I think the scenario is only northbound from here onwards.
So,
see, leaving out the last 2 months, I would say even on a year-on-year basis or a month-on-year basis, it was growing in a good way. Yes, on a year-on-year basis, it's definitely growing. Last 2 months have been slightly slow because of excessive rains. And I think by the end of this year, the total crane market would have expanded by about 25–30%. See, the strongest demand is coming primarily from the power plants or the new plants which are being set up from the EPC contractors working in power sector and even in the road sector. I would say industrial segment, especially let's say cement, is slightly slow, but maybe that's again because of excess monsoons and all that. But on the whole, power sector is the biggest driver as of now. And on the whole, construction activity is happening all across, whether it is bridges, flyovers, roads, metros. So like you rightly said, the portfolio and the customers are so diversified, it's very difficult to pinpoint because 1 or 2 months something is coming up, then something else is coming up, but predominantly it's power sector. This expansion is being funded through our internal accruals as of now. And this capacity should go online by, I think, February, March latest. Maybe it is earlier than that. And it's mainly through internal accruals. I think there's no debt or anything that we're raising to do this because it's about 25–30 crores that we are using in this from our internal funds. Yeah, the tower cranes we have already started manufacturing, the most popular models that are being used, which we were importing for the last 5–6 years. And they've already gone on stream last month. So we just have to ramp up the numbers over the next 6 months. There's a slight delay on the crawler crane side, and hopefully it will take another 3–4 months before we are able to put our machines in the market for the crawler cranes. With respect to the margins, definitely these two products will help us improving our profit margins, maybe from next year onwards. You see, traditionally cranes are at about 60–65% of our revenue. Unfortunately, in the last 2–3 months, there was a slight decline in the tractors that we had started doing about a year and a half back, mainly because of PSUs and cooperative banks and all just reducing their funding to the farm sector. They're being very tight on the norms, etc. But I feel that by the end of this year, the revenue share will be around 65–70% cranes, and it will more or less be similar as what has happened in the past.
So, Saurabh, in the coming quarter, do we expect a margin dip?
Not really, not a margin dip. I think the margins will further normalize because in the good times, let's say about 1.5–2 years back, we were doing about 10–10.5% EBITDA margins easily. So hopefully we'll be reaching that. We are already at about 10.5% EBITDA in the last quarter. So gradually it is going to go back to 10.5 and maybe even more next year onwards with our new products coming in, which we'll be manufacturing in India.